Sakuragi Hanamichi, a delinquent and a gang leader, has been rejected by 50 girls in middle school and now joins Shohoku High School with new hope. There he encounters Haruko Akagi, a basketball fanatic. To make her fall for him, he joins the Shohoku basketball team, despite the hurdles in his way. Ultimately, he showcases his skills to the team and gets selected, but there's still a lot he needs to improve. Soon, a practice match against their rivals, Ryoda, is set up. This possibly being Sakuragi's debut match, Akagi, the team captain, puts him through intense training to prepare him for the coming bout. The Shohoku team makes their way to their rivals who appear to be warming up. Immediately, there seems to be intense tension between Akagi and Ryoda's captain, Uozomi. Before the match, Anzai selects the players which will be participating in the match. Sakuragi waits in anticipation that his name will be called out. One after the other, all the slots are allotted and only the last remains. However, that too gets given to Rukawa, leaving Sakuragi crushed. Consequently, Anzai calms him down, stating that Sakuragi is a secret weapon for their team, which he will use if the time arises. Before the game starts, Sakuragi confronts Sendo, claiming he will bring him down. And so the game finally begins. Things get heated from the start. Ryoda steals the ball from their opponent at the start, enabling Sendo to score. While the Shohoku's defense seems weak, Akagi is able to block all the shots his foes make and prevent them from scoring, claiming that his team will score 100 points. Akagi gets back into formation and prepares to attain victory against Shohoku. With persistent attacking, Ryoda is able to suppress Shohoku's advances and slowly corners them. They even intervene between passes and steal the ball from their enemies. Ryoda's coach tries to encourage his players, telling them to win with a 30-point lead. Hearing this, Sakuragi commits a technical foul. Thanks to this, along with the amazing passes, Sendo makes Ryoda quickly get a 19-point lead. Uozomi and Sendo's presence looms over the Shohoku players, but regardless, Rukawa remains unfazed. While Sendo tries to score, he intervenes in his shot and gets a rebound, directly confronting Sendo in a 1 versus 1. Rukawa makes his way to score and dodges many other players on the way. However, Sendo comes running behind to stop him. Nonetheless, Akagi is lying in wait and receives a pass, scoring their first point via a dunk. And this is the turning point. Shohoku finally gets serious and manages to end the first half with a comeback, with the score now 42-50 in favor of Ryoda. Following their momentum into the second half, they begin scoring again and now stay only 5 points behind. Rukawa masterfully handles the ball and scores repeatedly. Seeing this, Ryoda's coach calls the team for a quick strategy meeting. There he scolds his players, telling them that they have to defeat Shohoku. However, Sakuragi eavesdrops on their meeting and picks a fight with Sendo. And so after Akagi's intervention, the game resumes. Throughout the game, Sendo then begins to taunt Sakuragi. Moreover, he completely covers Rukawa, stopping Shohoku from advancing. Noticing this, Anzai finally tells Sakuragi to warm up, readying him to enter the match. With 9 minutes remaining, Akagi all of a sudden gets injured and Sakuragi has to sub for him. But his nervousness during the play gets Uozomi injured. Despite this, Rukawa's provocation quickly brings him back to his senses after a swift kick. Finally, the team gets back into gear and they prepare to once again dominate their opponents. After a quick bandage to Uozomi, the game resumes. Sakuragi is told to guard the opponent's captain, and so he does. When Uozomi receives a pass, Sakuragi cuts it and sends the ball away. Moreover, he displays his athletic prowess, prompting Sendo to complement his speed. Nonetheless, Uozomi is indifferent and commands his team to pass the ball to him so he can score over this red-haired delinquent. However, when the time comes, he's unable to do so. Sakuragi uses his high speed to steal the ball from Uozomi and he then rushes to score. Despite this, Uozomi prevents his layup, causing the ball to return to Sakuragi. While the enemy thinks that Rukawa will now get the pass, Sakuragi surprises everyone by passing to Kogure instead. He takes a jumping shot and scores. His efforts gain Sakuragi compliments from both Ryoda's coach and Sendo, and so Shohoku begins chipping away at their opponent's lead, bridging the gap ever so short. They continue with the conclusion inching closer. There, Sakuragi is trying to get rebounds using the skills Akagi taught him. Furthermore, he even pulls off an incredible rebound, stealing the ball from Uozomi and Sendo both. His amazing jump leaves everyone shocked. Seeing this, Uozomi gets told to target Sakuragi solely, as Ryoda's coach claims the outcome will be decided on his performance. As such, Uozomi blocks Sakuragi from performing rebounds and scoring, helping his team grow the lead. Suddenly, Akagi returns to the stadium and subs in place of Rukawa, increasing the team's morale once more. Finally, only 3 minutes remain until the end. Shohoku is still behind. Nonetheless, Sakuragi remembers the training Akagi made him endure, and he manages to stop Uozomi from scoring via rebound. With the return of Shohoku's captain, Ryonan seems to be in a pinch. They finally get the lead for the first time in this game, even though it's just a 1-point lead. Regardless, Sendo finally gets serious. He uses his amazing speed to leave Sakuragi in the dust and jumps to score. Akagi tries to get in his way but fails to stop him. Furthermore, he commits a touching foul and gives Ryonan a free throw. With this, they again get into a lead. Despite this, Sakuragi is hell-bent on defeating Sendo himself. That is when Rukawa gets subbed back in as well. Hence, they both target Sendo, but still fail to stop his advances as he scores yet again. The last minute is at hand and Ryonan still has a 4-point lead. Anzai claims that his team still has a chance if they can stop Ryonan from scoring this basket. However, Sendo possesses the ball once more, while Sakuragi and Rukawa try and stop him yet again. With only 1 minute left, Shohoku is still behind by 4 points. Sendo continues to push ahead, while Sakuragi and Rukawa chase after him. Eventually, he reaches the basket and sets up his shot. Akagi tries to stop him, allowing Sakuragi to catch up and block the shot. He then steals the ball, accidentally passing to Rukawa, who scores a 3-pointer. Still in the lead, Ryonan decides to stall for the game to end. With only 15 seconds to spare, Akagi steals the ball and throws it to Rukawa, who is tailed by Sendo, hence passes to Sakuragi at the very last moment, and Sakuragi manages to pull off a slam dunk, giving Shohoku the lead. However, while they celebrate, Ryonan wastes no time and goes for the offense, and Sendo manages to score again, winning Ryonan the game. Sakuragi is left shell-shocked, finding it difficult to register that they lost. Nonetheless, he has played brilliantly in his first game, and he vows to defeat Sendo the next time, along with Rukawa. The next day, Sakuragi seems pissed off. At school, he meets with Haruko and a compliment from her uplifts his entire mood. Moreover, she suggests they both go and pick out new shoes for basketball for Sakuragi. There, he manages to buy high-quality product at a huge discount of 30 yen only, using his intimidating personality. With these new shoes, he later heads to practice and trains his heart out to one day defeat Sendo. At practice, Akagi talks with Ayako, asking if that guy can play again. Meanwhile, Sakuragi's gang has gotten into a tussle with a senior named Ryota Miyagi. However, Yuhei manages to prevent a brawl between the two gangs. The next day at school, Ayako hears of Ryota's return, who had been away after being hospitalized due to a fight. As such, he tries to locate him, along with Sakuragi. However, she finds him surrounded by a bunch of seniors who ganged up on him. As soon as Ryota sees Ayako with Sakuragi, he begins to cry. It is revealed that he has a crush on Ayako, and so he punches Sakuragi out of jealousy. This leads to an all-out fight where even the people who ganged up on Ryoda get injured. They are forced to stop when Ayako and Haruko, who have just arrived after hearing the commotion, intervene. Furthermore, Ayako sends them both to the basketball club where their heated confrontation might start again, but this time in a one-on-one match. At the court, both keep stealing the ball from one another, resulting in another fight almost breaking out. Good thing Akagi's appearance stops the fight and training begins once again. After school, Kogure and Akagi have a chat at a cafe where the latter is determined to reach and win the national championship. Meanwhile, Sakuragi and Ryoda bump into each other at night. There, the former makes fun of Ryoda, telling him to be careful or else Ayako will dump him. Hearing this, the latter breaks into tears and explains his tale, expressing how he started basketball to impress her. He expresses how Ayako doesn't even look at him properly. Hearing this, Sakuragi empathizes with Ryoda. After this interaction, they both start to get along. On the other hand, Mitsui, the man Ryoda beat up before, is still hell-bent on his revenge after getting his pride shattered like that. That is when his friend Tetsuo appears and offers to help him beat Ryoda up. And so after a few days while the basketball team is training, Mitsui and Tetsuo bring their gang to Shohoku and head towards the gym. There, they arrogantly insult the basketball team's lousy gym, but Ryoda isn't looking for any trouble. He tries to settle the problem without the use of violence, but this ends up in him getting ganged up on. Sakura tries to intervene, but Ryoda tells him to stay out, revealing that if they get physical, the team might be dismissed. Regardless, as Ryoda is about to get struck once again, Sakuragi stops Mitsuri from doing so. Yasuda, a regular player, also tries to de-escalate the situation but gets hit, and so even Rukawa gets in their face, angry at Mitsui for degrading his gym and his team. As a result, a beatdown begins. One of the delinquents hits Rukawa on the head, causing him to bleed profusely, but eventually he snaps and retaliates, almost crushing a foe's hand. However, Ayako tells him to stop, prompting the hoodlum to slap her once freed. For Ryoda, this is the last straw. He loses control and senselessly beats the guy who dared hit her. Along with Rukawa, they deal with the small fries, but Tetsuo is a pro fighter. He overpowers them both and now only Sakuragi remains. Unfazed, he takes a stand against Tetsuo, getting completely overpowered, while the rest of the goons recover and rise again. Sakuragi is now in a pinch, however his friends come to the rescue. This evens the playfield a little bit, while Yuhei brutally knocks Mitsui around. Sakuragi deals with Tetsuo, finally learning to block his punches. Despite being heavily injured, he manages to deliver a solid punch straight to his opponent's face. Meanwhile, Akagi is finally done with his extra class and is now on his way to the gym. The end for now. Thanks for watching. If you like this recap, please consider to like and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to be notified of any new recaps. And while you're at it, check out this new anime recap appearing on the screen.